am a straight male adult star. Ask me anything. In POV scenes, who's holding the camera, or how does someone else lean into the actor's space to take the footage? The performer holds the camera during the blow, and usually an assistant or someone on set will take the camera and angle it during scenes. Is sex in movies as good as depicted? And also, do the girls really enjoy it, or is it just acting? I came at a time when the porn industry was sort of transforming into what it is now. If you wanted to do straight porn, it was almost impossible to get in. It was a really closed, tight-knit man's club, and no one wanted to let newbies in. Everyone was kind of out of shape, except for the few top guys, and it was impossible to get in. There was a lot going on politically though, with Cal OSHA doing raids, and AIM was being reformed, and a few veterans had started setting up counseling for the girls and therapy sessions. So I got in when the industry was starting to be more regulated and more money and investment was coming into the business. It's gone up and down since then. The sex was awesome in the beginning because I was doing something out of the ordinary that a lot of guys dream of. But after a while, it started to feel like a job. When you do a porn scene, there's not just the camera guy there, but also a photographer who's taking still shots, so you have to freeze frame in the middle of positions. You have to keep yourself hard for long hours. This was before Viagra when I first started, and then come quick when you're told. At the beginning, I was able to work, pop, and then recover fast because I was just so into it. But later, it got harder to keep it up and harder to do more than one scene a day. The girls, it's mixed. When I first started, there were a lot of the leftover girls from the early 90s that didn't seem like they were into it. The guys were big jerks too. I became popular fast because I always tried to be nice and talk to the girls first, and they weren't used to that. In the 2000s though, the girls for the most part had way better attitudes. All men love blows, but what's it like getting one from a porn star? They look pretty talented. Also, the weirdest thing you've been asked to do. Cheers, dude. It depends on the porn star, but most are really talented. It's the king of blows. Weirdest thing I've ever been asked to do was probably when I went on Sex Survivor. That whole experience was fun, weird, surreal, and I won, so that was cool. As far as sex act goes, I don't find any of it weird, but now that I'm a real dad, I do have to say one of the weirdest things in porn is girls who like to call you daddy or talk in a baby voice. Like I said before, a lot of girls in porn are really masochistic. I've been asked to punch, off-screen, threaten, etc, etc. Most of this is all off-screen because violence, even if it's simulated, is illegal in American pornography, but yeah, dating girls in the industry outside of the porn set, I find a lot have daddy issues, rape fantasies, or if they've experienced those types of things in real life, feel a need to continuously relive those scenarios. Does your daughter know? Her mom told her I was in jail for most of her life, then changed her story to me being a pimp. When I got to meet my daughter though, she knew me as a security guard. As we started hanging out more in public, she started to get suspicious because people would come up to me and ask for a picture or autograph, and I would tell her it was because I was in an old commercial and used to yell out, "Hey, I'm with my kid," before they'd say anything. But she's in junior high and some boys at her school told her what I did. I'm pretty sure she has not seen porn because her computer's been blocked from all that, but you never know. She thinks it's cool, but I don't think she knows what it is really yet. There are actually a lot of us out there with kids, and she has 3 close girlfriends around her age who are all in the same position she's in, and they have a tight group. Is it not really awkward talking to the girls you will be working with before and after you get down and dirty? No, it's essential. It was in the beginning, but I came at a time when girls weren't treated that well, and always being nice and friendly paid off big time with having girls request me. Very few people watch straight porn for the guys, so if you want a lot of work, you have to have personal relationships and a good and comfortable rapport with the girls you're working with. Also, it's important to talk to the girls after, especially if they're new, because not every girl is hard as nails or thick-skinned. Some girls get shaken after they do a sex scene if they're new, and you need to make them comfortable. You can't just walk out and ignore them. I've seen too many girls on drugs, battling depression, etc. to contribute to that. Any tips for the men out there wanting to please their woman? Don't learn from porn. Porn is visual. The sex is crazy. It's meant to look cool, but that doesn't mean that a woman wants that with her guy. Unless you tell me what areas you want advice in, the best advice I can give any guy is to be really into her. Make lots of eye contact. Don't give her the impression you'd stick it in anything with a hole, but look at her like she's all that you want at that very moment. If you're a smaller guy down there, this advice comes from one of my best friends who's a little under average but is quite the ladies' man. Never ever say sorry during sex, or fumble nervously. You have to have confidence. If you're not that endowed, don't dread the big reveal, pretend like it's 13 inches. A lot of people in the industry end up regretting getting into it. Do you? I regret missing out on my daughter growing up. I was old enough when I got in to sort of know what I was signing up for. The dudes of my particular porn generation are all like close brothers to me. The industry kind of sucks now for various complicated reasons nobody would really want to listen to me go on about, but it's partly because of the economy. I don't regret it. It's very hard for me to be around the woman in my family, sister, mom, aunts, etc., having them know what I do. It creeps me out. So, because of my own hangups, I don't get to see my family as much as I would like. I see them about as much as people who live across the country get to see their family, and my family live in the same city as I do. Do you watch porn yourself? If so, which kind? When you and other porn actors get together and talk shop, has there ever been something that someone has done in a film that's made you all go, what the fuck? Finally, with the internet as a medium, the most popular type of porn being immature, pay porn seems to be getting more extreme. Where do you see porn in 10 years? I do watch a form of porn. I guess I used to be really into getting girls to do things on webcam for me and doing cam shows back and forth, which is kind of like interactive porn. Tom Byron and Rod Fontana have both been pegged in a scene, which is they were penetrated by a girl with a strap-on dildo. That made us kind of say what the fuck, but to be honest, nothing really shocks me anymore. I disagree that pay porn is getting more extreme. Pay porn can't compete with the internet, so it's all right now going to Blu-ray, pay-per-view, and cable markets around the world. So right now, porn is becoming more like in the old days, about story and production value. A lot of people would hear that and say, what the fuck, who the hell watches porno for the plots or acting? But the largest growing demographic in porn viewership is women, and the only place where pay porn makes money nowadays, if you're not Brazzers, is for people with huge LCD TVs, who would rather watch high-def porn on a giant screen than standard definition porn on a small computer screen or phone screen. Porn is also going more towards contract girls versus free agents. It's harder to find contract girl stuff online because they work exclusively with their studio and don't sell their contract to other sites. Try finding videos online of Riley Steele or Caden Cross or any of the Digital Playground girls. Sure, you'll find stuff, but you'll have to search harder than you would with a girl who's a free agent, so that's the draw. If you really want to see the most beautiful girls, you're gonna have to get the Blu-ray or the HD pay-per-view, etc. But you fuckers probably get all that shit from torrents anyways. But yeah, that's where the industry is going now. The mainstream industry at least. In 10 years, I bet Vivid, Wicked, DP, and Adam and Eve will all become one company. That's just my guess. Ever have problems having sex with non-porn women with such a large penis? Yes. I tell my friends all the time, very few women actually love huge penises. My sex numbers before joining porn were a little inflated because I consider being naked with a girl and having each other's genitals in your mouth or penetrating her with a finger as sex. The girls who have liked my size out of the industry, I'd say about close to half only wanted to try oral with it, and 2 just gave up and gave me a hand. Let me try and say this in the straightest way possible. You're one of the few male porn stars that I see in a lot of porn that I honestly don't mind. Question time. What's with the close-up shot when you guys are finishing? Do they do this on purpose? Again, going to say market research here and being totally straight-faced and serious. The reason they call it the money shot is because in the old days, people wanted to know the actors were having real sex and real orgasms and not faking it. Woman fake orgasms, but the guy also has to do his cum face, so the guy watching at home knows that everyone had fun doing the scene. This is actually true. Especially because a lot of guys can't come inside a woman or by a woman, a lot of guys can only come from their own stroke. So if a guy is finishing himself off on a girl, he has to make that face to let the viewer know subconsciously he's having a good time and not just doing a job or going through the motions.